Hey! In today's video, I'm going to discuss how to start a clothing line, your step-by-step guide. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you can get notified whenever there is a new video available to help you with your fashion business. Okay, starting a clothing line, or any fashion-focused product line really. I'm asked this question almost every single day, so I want to talk to you about this and walk you through the process step by step. So let's start. Step 1, make your first decision. Before you do anything else, you have to ask yourself a question. The answer to this question is the foundation for everything you're going to do in your business. It's going to inform the kind of business you build, the type of customer you serve, the brand you create, the team you assemble, the collaborations and projects you accept, and so much more. Okay, are you ready? Answer this question. What kind of life do I want to live? I hope that wasn't anticlimactic. This question seems subtle, but I promise you it isn't. Your response to it is the most important piece of the successful fashion business puzzle, and therefore it deserves time, thought, and attention. Step 2, improve your mindset. I'm going to admit to you that I used to think that the need for a strong mindset was really, really woo-woo, kind of silly advice that didn't really mean anything. And I was wrong. I'm embarrassed by that because nothing has had more impact on my ability to grow my business than changing my mindset to have more confidence. Step 3, create your fashion business plan. So there are two kinds of fashion business plans. One is really involved and asks for like financial projections and in-depth research and takes a decent amount of time. This is used if you've decided you want investors, and to be honest, getting investors for a fashion business that has no tech component is not an easy thing to do. That's why I'm a big fan of the second kind of fashion business plan, the kind where you get the idea out of your head and onto paper. This doesn't involve fancy projections and 15-year goals. This involves the who, what, how, and why that you need to create a mission and a plan for taking action. Step 4, find your people and your support system. There is nothing more powerful than connecting with a community that gets what you're going through because they're going through it too. So asking questions, getting feedback, and having that support system in place to help you deal with the ups and downs, good and bad, is one of the best things you can do for yourself if you are in this for the long haul. Step 5, register your business. I think a lot of designers are guilty of deciding to be in business and then just sort of stopping there. But registering your business is a really good idea early on in the process for a few reasons. First, it gives you confidence and makes you feel more legit, right? So that's really important. Remember how I talked about in step 2, mindset? That's a really important component. And second, it's a good idea because once you are in business and you're an entity with like an EIN, you're able to order wholesale from suppliers and go to professional events like trade shows. So do that. Step 6, understand pre-production and production processes. So one of the biggest surprises and subsequent pain points I hear from designers is the challenge of sourcing low minimum fabrics and finding low minimum production. I get it. You need to understand this whole process. You need to be realistic about production. I'm not saying that you need to order thousands or even hundreds of yards of fabric or that you have to like produce 500 units. But I am saying that it's best not to be thinking that you can repeatedly buy 10 yards of fabric and get like 3 or 4 pieces created over and over and over again and do this in a way that makes financial sense. So it's really important to understand the process for getting from an idea in your head to a sample product in your hand. You need to understand pre-launch inventory and margin planning when it comes to production. You need to understand how to source from a factory, how to, ask the right questions so that you are looking professional. Take the time to learn all of this. It's a huge component and will make a big difference in your ability to move forward in a timely manner. Step 7, figure out the money part. While I do believe that there is no need for hundreds of thousands of dollars to launch a fashion business, you do need some money. There's no way around that. You're launching a physical product that requires money to bring it to life. So you have a few options here. You can borrow the money, friends and family. You can use your own savings. You can raise the money with pre-orders or crowdfunding, or you can take out a small business loan. Just FYI, if you go with the small business loan option, you do need to start creating those financial projections and that in-depth business plan. What needs to happen with the money is you need to understand how much you're going to need and what you can do with it. So will you be starting a full collection, a signature piece, a small 5-piece collection? What are you hoping to launch with? What will you need to spend on fabric and manufacturing? Keep in mind, you'll also need to put some money into a website and a logo and other visual branding elements. So be sure to pad your numbers to take all of this into account. And don't make the mistake of spending all the money you have on creating the product and then say, I have no money left for marketing, because it doesn't work that way. So you really do need to figure out that money bit. Step 8, create your sales plan. A sales plan may sound more complicated than it is. When it comes to sales and distribution, a common mistake is to feel the need to sit down and create this overly detailed and overwhelming plan. Instead, a better use of your time is to take all that craziness in your head, like, should I, how do I, what about, all those questions, and put them on paper. The brand that is laser focused on a basic plan for what they will sell and how they will sell it is the brand that will succeed in their business. Step 9. Create your fashion brand. The big thing to remember about a brand is that it's a feeling. It's an association, a point of view, and really a personality. So a logo, a color scheme, and fonts, these are all important, but you can't start there. These are the things you create after you've figured out the personality behind your brand. Because how do you know what your visual branding is going to be when you don't know what you're trying to communicate about your brand? You can't do it, at least not effectively. So brand personality, this is what you focus on first. What are the characteristics that make up the personality of your brand? That's where you start with branding. Then it's the brand visuals. Once you've determined the personality of your brand, you're ready to jump into the logo and the color scheme and all of that. Step 10, create your customer profile. If you don't know who you are trying to attract, how will you be able to attract them? It is incredibly important to get to know your ideal customer, who this person is, so that you can serve them in the best way you know how. So here's what that means. You need to be able to answer, what do they care about? What do they value? How do they spend their time? What problem do they need solved? You need to start collecting as much information about them as possible in as much detail as possible, so you can not only provide them with the product they want, but also so that you can speak their language and create a real relationship with them in the process. And then you can truly serve them. Step 11, plan your website. When it comes to your fashion business website, you can go a few different routes. You can do it yourself, you can hire someone to do it for you, or you can do a mix of the two. Usually that decision is based on budget and skills, so you have to make that decision. Just make sure that it looks professional, it functions properly, and it clearly communicates what you offer. Step 12, plan your pre-launch marketing and launch your business. Too many brands I see launch by simply making their website live. The problem with this is that the complete lack of build-up and community creation that's needed in order to make the launch successful, it hasn't happened. There's a complete lack of that. So your goal is to start building buzz months, ideally 6 months prior to launching. That means you want to be collecting emails, sending emails to your list consistently, and posting regularly on social media as soon as you've decided to launch a product. Build a community, get them excited about what you're doing. Show them that you get them and you're making a product that is perfect for their needs. Talk to them, build trust, and make a connection. Then launch, not before. Step 13, create your marketing and PR plan. Once you've launched your fashion business, you're done. You just sit back and you collect that cash. It is all uphill from here. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the world of marketing and public relations. You have to build buzz pre-launch so that you can keep it up and grow from it. Here's the thing about marketing. You have to be willing to try things even if they kind of scare you. When you're working with a limited budget, like so many new designers are, putting aside the fear of looking stupid is going to make a huge difference for you. So create a basic plan that includes what kind of marketing you will do and what budget you need to do it. Step 14, the final step in launching, get your business operations figured out. Now that you've launched and are running your business, one of your biggest challenges is going to be feeling like you have no time to do everything you want to do. And for a while, it will probably just be you. But you will get to the point of being ready for help, whether that's hiring a person or paying for tools that will streamline your operations. The sooner you're able to do this, the better off you'll be. So think about these areas of operations you need help with and decide what and how you'll delegate. Start getting some of those systems in place now so it becomes easier as you grow. Okay, that's it. So my intention with this video was to answer the question I get so often, which is, how do I launch my fashion business? I hope I was able to give you a solid outline to get started. And remember, this is what you need to do. Find out more and join us in the designer membership, and I will show you how you can do it. Check us out at members.startupfashion.com.